Okay, this is 6-7. This is graphing linear inequalities with two variables. So you've been solving inequalities. Now you will be graphing them because there's going to be two variables. Your two favorite variables are going to be, of course, x and y. You're going to see familiar equations, y equals mx plus b, but now they're not going to be equals. They're going to be less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So there's an infinite number of solutions. How do we show all those possible solutions? By shading. So you are going to be shading your solutions here. Now, inequalities, remember, inequalities are comparisons. In this inequality, 3x minus 4y, that answer should be greater than 9. We're looking for ordered pairs that would work to be greater than 9. So we're going to tell whether or not the ordered pair 2, 0, which is an x and a y value, does work in the inequality. So what we do is we plug it in. So 3 times 2 is 6, minus 0 is, 6 minus 0 is 6. Is that greater than 9? No. So 2, 0 is not a solution. That would not work in this linear inequality. The ordered pair 2, negative 1, minus 4, negative 1, is that greater than 9? Well, it's 6 plus 4. And in this case, yes, is a solution. 2, negative 1 would be considered a solution to this inequality because it makes the inequality true. How are we going to use that? I will show you here in a second. But here is how you actually graph it. Actually graph the line. Now, we are going to use different forms of the line to represent our symbols. Remember, when you were solving for inequalities, the less than and greater than sign had an open circle. Well, our best way to draw an open circle is by showing a dashed line. So your line is going to be dashed. Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to had a closed line, so you're going to draw it with a closed or solid line. Now, we need to create the shading. Remember, your number lines had one side or another. We test a point to do the shading, and then we figure out where our shading is. Remember, you've learned all sorts of ways to solve or to graph equations. It doesn't matter how you graph them so long as you do. So here's our inequality. Y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 4. Notice that this looks very much like y equals mx plus b. Well, you know how to graph this. Our slope is negative 1/2. Our b is 4. That means we start at 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go down 1 over 2. Now be careful. We're not going to draw our line. You've got to remember what kind of line for that less than symbol. I would have drawn an open circle. I would have drawn an open circle if this were on a number line. So I need to draw a dashed line to represent this graph. Now that is going to be the most commonly missed part of your test here, is forgetting that solid or dashed line. But do you notice that you've created two sides of your graph? You have this side of your graph and you have this side of your graph. You're going to shade one whole side. And to do that, we're going to test a point. Well, the easiest point to test is 0, 0. 0, 0 would be on this side. So 0, 0, let's see if it works. 0 is less than negative 1/2 times 0 plus 4. 0 is less than 4. This is true. So 0, 0 is a solution to this inequality. So if 0, 0 is a solution, everything on this side of the inequality is a solution. So we would shade this side of the inequality. And we don't shade this side delete, because everything over here would not make the inequality true. Let's show this again. So my inequality is x is greater than or equal to 4. Well, notice I'm missing my y, and you need to remember that this has undefined slope, where x is greater than or equal to positive 4. That'd be right here. And that symbol is a solid line. Solid line, vertical, undefined slope. And if x is greater than 4, well, 0, 0 is here. Is 0 greater than or equal to 4? No, it is not, so this is not a solution. Well, 0, 0 was on this side of the graph. And if 0, 0 is not a solution, it means this whole other side is. So that's the side we would shade, not this side. I just erased my line. Sorry about that. Hold on. Don't go away. There we go. This was a solid line. Remember, so let's take a look at your checkpoints, and we'll probably just do this one. Here's my inequality. Checkpoint number 1, that's going to be really hard to graph. Let's put this in slope-intercept form so that it's a lot easier. Plus 8 divided by 2, and negative 2x plus 4. So I start at positive 4, and I start going down a slope of negative 2. Now my symbol tells me that I'm going to have a dashed line. Be very, very careful that you don't forget that. We need to figure out what side I'm going to shade, and 0, 0 would be on this kind of left side. Let's see if 0, 0 would work. 2 times 0 plus 4 times 0 is greater than 8. Is 0 greater than 8? No, so 0, 0 is not a solution. That means everything on this side is. Notice I plugged it into the original inequality. You could plug it into this one. You're still going to get the same incorrect inequality, but you will always be able to check the original. This one here, let me move this graph so you can see it. If it's just a y by itself, that is a horizontal line with 0 slope, except for I drew a solid line, and this symbol here tells me I need to be dashed. So let's erase that and try again. Let's draw a dashed line. Now to determine my shading, 0 is less than 2. Does that point 0, 0 work? Yes, it does. So everything on the side with 0, 0 works. Now for your story problems, it's going to be more about setting up the problem than anything else. So a party shop makes gift bags for birthday parties. They charge $4 per glow stick placed in the bag and $10 per t-shirt. X is going to be the number of glow sticks, and Y is going to equal the number of t-shirts. Your goal is to earn at least $500 for the bag. So let's write an inequality. Well, it's $4 per glow stick, which is X, and $10 per t-shirt, which is Y. And I want to earn at least $500 for the bag. That's a greater than or equal to. Once I have the inequality in place, now I need to be able to graph it. Honestly, the easiest way to graph big numbers like these, you don't have to solve it. If you want to, find your intercepts. If you put 0 glow sticks in the bag and all you had were t-shirts, all you had were t-shirts, that'd mean that you'd have to have at least 50 t-shirts. Well, we know where that is on a graph. We can do the same thing for if we only had the glow sticks and no t-shirts. Divided by the 4, and if I only had glow sticks, that'd be 125 glow sticks. So if I had to graph this, let's get me a new page. If I had to graph this, remember I had 0, 50, and 125, 0. going to go, oh, no, error. 75, 150, and then you might see different intervals here, where this is the number of glow sticks, and this is the t-shirts. My equation, if you remember, was 4x plus 10y is greater than or equal to 500. Well, t-shirts max is 500, glow sticks max is 125. I have 2 points, and all I need to do is connect the dots. Connect the dots. And it is a solid line because of my inequality symbol, but because it is an inequality, we need to remember to shade. So I need to figure out, would 0, 0 work? Here's my 0, 0. Well, 4 times 0 plus 10 times 0, would that get me at least $500? No, it would not. If you want to earn at least 500, you want to be out here. You want to be out here. So any ordered pair here, like 125.30, means if you sell 125 is the number of glow sticks, and 30 is the number of t-shirts, you will earn at least, that's the goal, right? At least $500. That's the whole goal for this. Here's your homework 4, 6, 7. Congrats and enjoy.